sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Troller. We'll talk Browns and NFL football. We'll talk Cavs and NBA basketball. We have a new segment tonight I have called Great Moments in Sports History, and we'll talk about that. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who owns the NFL record for most sacks in a single game? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. The Cleveland Browns have recently acquired some of the most talented players on the market this offseason, and there's one final move the Browns should make before the draft to turn themselves into a Super Bowl contender. Cleveland Browns GM John Dorsey has really outdone himself this offseason. He was able to acquire 26-year-old future Hall of Fame wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. from the New York Giants. The 28-year-old Pro Football Edge defender Oliver Vernon, 28-year-old AP 2013 Rookie of the Year and Pro Bowl defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson in free agency, and 23-year-old Pro Football running back Kareem Hunt. He acquired all of this by only giving up elite offensive guard Kevin Zettler, former first-round pick and former first-round pick Jabril Peppers. The Browns' current first-round pick, 17th overall in the draft, and the Patriots' third-round pick, 95th overall, with Austin Corbett Austin Corbett set to replace Kevin Zettler. Jabril Peppers is the only part from the deal that the Browns need to replace. Now, I can agree with that, but the question is, who are they going to replace him with? Now, with OBJ, which is Odell Beckham Jr. trade, Dorsey patched up the glaring need at receiver by creating need at strong safety. 2016 fourth-round pick Derek Kindred is currently slated to take over for Jabril, and he has shown ability to become a starter. However, his health should be a concern. The injury bug has been with Kindred most of his NFL career, and he has been on IR and the non-football injury list back-to-back seasons. Now, we'll have to see if they get Kindred, Derek Kindred. We'll have to see if they start Kindred this season. So, but Kindred is a great backup and at his position, and being the backup is better for his health. I agree wholeheartedly on that, and I know a lot of media does and a lot of fans agree with me on that. The Browns should look to acquire the Raiders' safety, Carl Joseph, to replace Jabril Peppers, and I agree with that. That's a good thing to do. According to PFF, the Browns' defense was the worst defense in tackling last season. Jabril Peppers missed 11 tackles last season compared to Carl Joseph's 4. Now, Carl Joseph isn't perfect, though he, like Kindred, has had the injury bug in his career, too, and hasn't been elite like his college tape says he should have been. However, he is still a very good NFL player. He was one of the bright spots on the Raiders' defense last year. Now, the Raiders seem willing to trade Carl Joseph. The Raiders' new head coach, John Gruden, and general manager Mike Mayock may want to get their own guys in the building, and so Joseph may be on his way out. There were several rumors at the trade deadline last season that he was available. Mike Sando of ESPN had projected that he would be traded to the Titans for a sixth-round pick at the end of the trade deadline. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, he could go there, but, Yet I think John Dorsey might want to try to get him too. Now, but we'll see. Now, John Dorsey may have already given up 2 picks this offseason, but has a good amount of picks left, including 3 in the 5th round, picks 144, 145, and 170. Now, if I were John Dorsey, I would be more than willing to ship one of these picks off to the Raiders in exchange for Carl Joseph. Joseph is a hard-hitting, strong safety and plays very similar to how Jabril Peppers does. And I think that would be a good move for the Browns, and we'll have to see if Dorsey does this, if this move is going to be made. I'll keep you posted on that. Now, the Browns defense needs a guy like Carl Joseph who can come downhill and lay some wood. Big hits like the ones that Joseph deals out energize young teams and can be great momentum swings in games. Now, John Dorsey has a plan to get the Cleveland Browns team, a Super Bowl ring. So do not worry if he doesn't feel the need to acquire Carl Joseph. Now, however, when a man puts together a college as he did, it's hard to believe that Joseph couldn't be a very valuable resource to this Cleveland Browns team, because he very well can be a valuable resource to this Cleveland Browns team. And I'll keep you posted on if this move gets made. I will let you know. We'll talk Cavs in just a sec. But first, it is time now for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who owns the NFL record for most sacks in a single game? And if you said Derek Thomas if you said Derek Thomas, the late great Derek Thomas, you are correct. In 1990 game against the Seattle Seahawks, Derek Thomas sacked quarterback Dave Craig 7 times. I have another question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that. The Cavs beat the Milwaukee Bucks at home tonight at Quicken Loans Arena, 107-102, to extend their win streak to 2 in a row. Colin Sexton led the way with 25 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jordan Clarkson, 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Brandon Knight, 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Cavs led by 6, 30-24 at the end of the first quarter. Then padded their lead in the second quarter and led 58-47 at halftime. In the third, the Cavs and Bucks seesawed back and forth and ended up tied at 81 all at the end of the third quarter. And in the fourth, the Bucks tried to battle back but came up short as the Cavs went on to win by the final 107-102. Cavs go to 19-37 on the season, and the Bucks fall to 53-19. The Cavs are off tomorrow, but they continue their homestand on Friday when they take on the Los Angeles Clippers at home at Quicken Loans Arena. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. on Fox Sports Ohio. Now for a brand new segment called Great Moments in Sports History here on Scott Sports 101. And here is today's great moment in sports history. On January 19th, 1969, at Orange Bowl Stadium in Miami, Florida, 3 days before Super Bowl III, Broadway Joe Namath told reporters that he guaranteed a victory over the heavily favored Baltimore Colts. Jets coach Webb Eubank first first heard of it the next day when the guarantee was front page news. Namath and the Jets followed through on the guarantee, defeating the Colts 16-7. Namath won Super Bowl MVP, cementing his legacy, and he would be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985. And I will say this, and Namath said this himself, and I quote, "If I hadn't guaranteed that victory against the Colts, I would not be where I am today." And I quote, that is true, I quote, end quote. And I will have another great moment on my next broadcast, which will be on Friday, so stay tuned for that. And I want to let you know that we are now 5 weeks away from the NFL Draft. Round 1 kicks off round 1 on Thursday, April 25th, and also Friday and Saturday. And I will have special editions of Scott Sports 101 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. For round 1 Thursday, I will be on location at my friend at the Murphy House, the home of my really good friends, Matt and Katie Murphy. And my special guest joining me for round 1 of the NFL Draft, and that special edition will be none other than my really good friend, who's one of my best friends, Matt Murphy. And we'll break down round 1 of the NFL Draft. We'll break down who we think all the teams are going to take, and also all the other rounds of the NFL Draft, and who we think the Browns are going to take. Now, since we won't hear from them until round 2, and I will have a recap of it after round 1, and I will also have special editions rounds 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, both Friday and Saturday, and recaps after that, leading up to pick 255, Mystery Irrelevant. And I will have a complete recap on Sunday, April 28th, and I'll recap all the entire 2019 NFL Draft, and my special guest joining me on that recap will be none other than my brother-in-law, Eric Hoyle, and his cousin, Aaron Hoyle. So we will recap the entire NFL Draft. We'll give our thoughts and let you know what we thought, and we'll let you know who we feel is going first in 2020. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll have another podcast on Friday, but until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.